Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the studio. We're live once again. The three of us are here. We're going to be interacting with everybody in the chat this evening. Anyone who wants to show up and interact with us.
Chat.
That's right. And we're going to be, and in the comments, if you're on playback, either way, we're going to be hitting up two big topics tonight. First is going to be, we're going to be just reacting to the Golden Globe nominations. We haven't seen everything on the list, but the stuff we have seen, we're going to be reacting to that, as well as looking at some, I know the strike at this point is old news, but the director of Deadpool 3 has recently said that the strike actually helped production somewhat from his perspective. So we're going to look at that, think about the concepts that he threw around, see if we think there are other productions maybe that benefited from the strike. But that's going to be the two big things we hit tonight. Obviously, the big thing in the news is the nominees, so we'll touch on that quite a bit.
I do have a question for you guys. Should we, at the beginning of these, even though we've done these a minute, should we be introducing ourselves?
I think,
because I know we have like on the podcast and on the reaction videos. We have
I'll go first. Hi, I'm Ned Nealon, and
okay.
Dusty Bottom.
He doesn't even know his name.
I don't know.
All right, so look, for everyone who doesn't know, he said Ned Nealon. For everyone who doesn't know,
guy's name on it,
Needlander.
Ned Needlander. I'm Dusty Bottom, and I'm Three Amigos. I don't know.
You do not get the rhythm of this down. I'm Joe. For people who don't know, you got Josh in the middle, and you got Wyatt on the other end, opposite of me, and together. We are the Three Amigos. No, I was gonna say together we do comment and we do breakdowns, reviews, reactions, commentary, all kinds of movie related stuff on this channel. We talk about the things. Yeah, look, we talk about the stuff that we would, when we watch a movie or we're talking about entertainment, getting into the theologicals, if you would, of the entertainment world. I think we're mostly just doing the same thing we usually do. Just decided put it on camera. Let's see if we can get as many people involved with the conversation as possible. So there you go. Is that a good enough introduction? Wyatt?
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm not saying it needs to be that long. Just
I mean, if the people who watch this,
I'm Wyatt. Hey,
I'm Josh, and
that is one thing that I'm really confused about. Every time I watch Friday Night Tights. I don't know. I know the names of these people, but I don't know half of the people that he's bringing on to be a part of the conversation. I know the few main ones, but I don't know all these guys. I don't even know what their channels are about, if they're all in the same niche. You know what I mean? And so I sometimes I'm just confused. So you're right. I think introductions can be helpful.
Yeah.
That's it. Introductions can be helpful.
Introductions can be helpful. What are we talking about first now that we're introduced?
Right. Let's go ahead and jump into looking through the nominees for the Golden Globes. All right.
Okay.
2024 Golden Globes. This is going to be an extensive list because we're hitting not only movies, but TV shows and a whole bunch of different categories. So there's going to be a lot we're going to breeze through. There's going to be some we don't mention, but we're going to talk about the real heavy hitters. I mean, we're going to talk about the ones that everyone cares about, I guess,
Yeah.
Or most people care about. I don't know how many people in culture care about award shows anymore, but we're going to talk about it. Why not?
I mean, they might if we get another good slap involved.
That's true. Was that at that wasn't at the Golden Globes?
That was at the Oscars, but
the Oscars is where
the
things
Golden
get
Globes
wild.
is a little bit more prestigious,
right? If you tried to pull that stuff at the Golden Globes, they'd get you the globe out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Who's about to retire? We got who's Michael Caine's about to retire. He could do a slap and not get in trouble because he's done.
True.
So
that'd be the best time to slap somebody.
Oh yeah.
You think he could slap and not get in trouble? After the prestigious
I don't know.
career he's had.
He's had a career. Who would be a good one to slap? I don't know.
Get slapped or to do the slapping.
To do the slapping.
I think we got it. I think Will Smith is the most craziest nominee, if you will, for being the slapper. I don't think that could be topped. Who are you gonna want to see slap somebody more than Will Smith?
I don't know, but
Out
have
of
you
anger?
heard like a month ago? The Smiths are insane, but like a month ago, Jada said that she went on a podcast and said that they have been split apart for like 4 years now or something.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, wait, so you guys were not together and Will Smith still slapped someone for you.
Yeah,
Will
but
Stiff.
I saw something that said where she said that the slap actually strengthened their relationship. This
For
lady's
one
just,
night because she got the hots for him for a few
this
hours
lady's
again.
just talking.
She's gaslighting everybody.
She's not gaslighting anybody. She's just saying
Gaslighting
nonsense.
Will Smith. That's who she's gaslighting.
Honestly,
for years.
Yeah, she has been.
But
let's look at this.
Golden Globes. Let's look at them.
All right, so we're first going to get into Best Motion Picture, which kudos to the Golden Globes for still having Oppenheimer. I don't think it's going to be a runner for the Oscar because of their new equity rules. But
I'm going for Flowers of a Killer Moon then because
let's listen, Joshua. Look, we're not ranking these.
I know.
If you want to hear all of our opinions, you got to go to the podcast. Here, we're mostly talking about the news, giving our upfront reaction to it. We can't just rank everything all the time, right?
Well, he's just giving what he thinks will win.
Well, we haven't listed them yet. Josh was like, Killers of the Flower Moon. Me, I claim it.
It's up there. It's up there.
All right, look. For Anatomy of the Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, which has not been released on Netflix yet.
No, it hasn't.
Oppenheimer.
The 20th?
Yeah. Past Lives and The Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Those are set. All right, so I haven't seen 4 of these movies, but I'm definitely watching Maestro as soon as it's released. I don't know if Maestro or Killers of the Flower Moon are going to be, in my opinion, better than Oppenheimer. There. What do you think, Wyatt?
I don't know. I've never seen Past Lives or Zone of Interest. From what Josh has told me about Killers of the Flower Moon, I think that one has some pretty big potential. I agree with you on Oppenheimer about its chances, especially at the Oscars. But I'm interested to see what these other movies are. What is Anatomy of the Fall? I feel like I've heard some rumblings about it.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen it. A lot of these I haven't seen, and this is why I can't give like a solid answer on all of these. But it's just based on what we have seen in the list, and people that are watching this. If you guys know about these movies, definitely weigh in to let us know or to give your thoughts on it.
I think Oppenheimer was a really big movie this year, and I think it was really good. I'm not downplaying Oppenheimer, but I think the type of movie that Killers, it felt like a movie to win an award.
Okay. So best motion picture, musical or comedy. So they put musicals and comedy up against each other, which I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's fair, but it is what it is. You got Air, which honestly did not get a whole lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Air was very much looked over. So
but I heard it was a good movie.
I heard the same. I heard it was decent, just no one watched it.
Yeah.
American Fiction, Barbie, Holdover, the Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things. I've heard a lot of crazy, fascinated things about Poor Things.
Yeah, right? I have too.
So I'm not sure about this. The only recognizable ones really to me is Barbie or Air.
Well, I'm actually going to put Poor Things probably up there with those two for what could win because of its politics.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that politics is a big thing for some of these movies, and Poor Things politics are in the right place.
When you say
So
politics, you talking about like, was it very politically driven story?
it was a lot of modern political talking points, I think.
Okay, so you
In
think
this
it was
one.
more service to the industry or service to
Mhm,
the progressive ideology that's in
mhm.
Hollywood somewhat.
Yeah, and now Barbie
Okay.
has some of that as well. But Barbie may get in there because of its because of its sheer box
Hugeness.
office ability.
Yeah.
It also has the right talking points.
Right.
It has good cast. Didn't hear too much about the music, like just the general score. I know it had some fun, like a fun musical number uh, or two, but yeah, I think that one for its box office credibility and kind of its pop culture impact, I
Right.
would say has chances to win this one.
Well, there might be
Yeah.
another category it falls in that actually might serve it better.
Mhm.
So best animated. Let's see. I'll let you take this one, Wyatt.
So so there's three here that are standouts. It's
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man, Super Mario Bros, and Boy in the Heron. Um,
Yeah. I think it's Spider-Man and um Mario kind of.
Spider-Man and Mario, especially in the American audience, and Mario for the Japanese audience as well. Um,
Mhm.
but anytime Studio Ghibli's putting out anything, especially something new, and especially something that looks like The Boy and the Heron, which looks trippy.
Right.
Star-studded cast, by the way. If you haven't seen the cast for The Boy and the Heron, I mean, we're talking Robert Pattinson, Mark Hamill, Christian Bale.
Nice.
Do
Um,
you think so? You kind of just said it yourself.
mhm.
So the boy is kind of not so much an American audience. It does have an American
It's
audience, but
it
not
it
as
does
much.
have an American audience. It's gonna be more, bigger Japanese audience, but I think for its, visual aspects,
Well, let me finish what I was gonna say. So
mm,
the boy does have some American, but he also it's not as much American audience. Spider-Man, I would say, is mostly American audience,
mhm,
and then Super Mario is kind of both. So
yeah.
you think it's just gonna take everything because it has both audiences won over.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure because Super Mario is a kids movie, and from what I know about
Yeah, but these all are basically
they
kids'
are,
movies.
but what I know about award shows is they like to give awards to the artsiest of the bunch, and The Boy and the Heron is definitely the artsiest. As Spider-Man is good,
Really high up there in the artsiness.
right? But we're talking, they like award type movies, and I know Ghibli's they're that kind of studio.
Okay. So
So,
from your
but
guys' opinion, hold on. From your opinion, Elemental, Suzume
mm-mm,
or Suzumi or whatever,
mm-mm,
and
Kazumi? Oh,
Suzume
oh.
and
and
Wish.
Wish, they don't have a
No, no,
chance.
no. No, they don't they're, up against these 3, I would even as if we're taking that sort of art stuff out, you know, it's Spider-Man or Mario.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think and if we're not talking about best
Mhm,
animated film. We're talking about best motion picture animated edition.
mhm,
It's got to be Super Mario Bros.
yeah,
I mean, it's just got to be. It was such a hit, so
mhm.
loved, and everyone watched
Although
it.
I'd love to see what they're grading it on.
Right. Let's go to the next section. This is an interesting one. We could probably land here for a bit. I don't want to stick
Mhm.
around too long, but this brings up a lot of thoughts. Cinematic and box office achievement.
It's
Now,
Herbie.
what does that
Ooh.
what does that mean? You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
it's a big question, but we got
The
Barbie
The
Galaxy?
cinematic achievement here is Oppenheimer.
Right.
That it is the cinematic achievement. Now, I mean,
Yes.
there's some cool stuff in John Wick, some cool stuff in Mission Impossible. Yes, absolutely.
Wait,
But
define cinematic. What did you say? It was cinematic and
box
Box
office?
office
So
achievement.
we're going with like, viewing experience versus like what it did in the box office. What,
Right. Which those
Oh,
things are not necessarily the same at
Mhm.
all. So
well,
let's go through the list. Hold on. Let's go through the list. Barbie, Guardians 4, John Wick 4, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, which is
Mhm.
a wild card, and then again
yeah.
Super Mario Bros.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably not gonna be Taylor Swift
Well,
because
I was about to argue for it. I
look,
was about to argue
here's
for
my
it.
argument against. It's because this is gonna be judged by movie people, and this isn't a movie necessarily. It's a compilation of Taylor Swift stuff.
Right.
Yes, but we know the Taylor Swift audience is huge, and it, I think just business wise, I'm not saying it's visually as good as Oppenheimer, like
Mhm.
for a movie, but like what she did to get it in theaters and stuff
Mhm.
is actually pretty.
You're saying it's a box office achievement.
Yes,
Okay.
she
Okay.
did some
Yeah,
stuff to
that's a
get
good
it into
point.
the theaters.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I would personally say, if we're talking box office achievement, I don't think anyone saw Barbie coming the way it did.
Mhm.
Not to be sexual.
Mhm.
Um, but also if we're talking about cinematic achievement, nothing beats Oppenheimer. In my opinion, if you separated cinematic and box office, then we're back to Barbenheimer in my mind. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
We're back to Barbenheimer, but
Now, look, Across the Spider-Verse is a cinematic, roller coaster. It is
but it
such a movie to watch, but
it doesn't beat the
Selena Gomez
cinematics,
in it.
the
it doesn't
cinematics
it doesn't beat
of
what's going on in Oppenheimer.
and it wasn't a box office achievement the way
Mhm.
that honestly 4 of these movies were. I mean, or
I
the
don't.
Eras Tour, Mario, Oppenheimer, and Barbie all were
Yeah,
Mhm.
more achievement box office wise than Spider-Man.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm gonna have to see the full movie of Spider-Man
Right?
to understand if it's a box office achievement.
Wait, what are you saying?
Yeah, it's
It
half
cut
a movie.
itself off at the end. It just
Oh,
ended, and it's
yeah.
like part 1.
Right,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of stuff doing that these days.
Mhm.
I mean,
Dune.
Dune did it. We're getting it with the end of Mission Impossible.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's see. Best motion picture non-English. Do we want to do that? No, I don't
Non-English.
think we've seen these. Let's skip
Um,
that. No offense to you
Wait, go back up and
non-Englishers.
I just wanna take a peek real quick.
We haven't seen these
Uh,
movies.
okay, yeah.
So you want to hit best female actor motion picture drama?
I'm not seeing anybody like I recognize. Oh, Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're also gonna have Carey Mulligan from
Carey
Maestro,
Mulligan,
which I believe. I mean,
yeah,
from what's on the trailer, she looks great. You
but
know,
also Kaylee, is that Speeney or Spaney from
Spaney, I
Priscilla?
think.
Did Priscilla do anything?
It didn't make huge waves, but it does about as good as most A24 films do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really
Okay,
blow up and they kind of just exist, but they're not noteworthy, I guess. They're
yeah,
really good
and
films, but they're
and
just
I will
not
have to
huge.
watch. I will have to watch Past Lives to see, um, because that one's getting a lot of attention here in the Golden Globes.
But I think Lily Gladstone probably will take it.
Mhm.
I
Probably.
would agree. She did a really good job, and even I watched a couple interviews with Martin Scorsese, and even, like, he explained on some pretty big scenes, she just, like, improvised and just rolled with some things to where she built that character, and she adopted that character with her acting, and
Mhm.
so I think she did a phenomenal job. I think she
Moving on
deserved
to
it.
the male actors. All right.
Why did they put this picture for Killian?
It's a good picture.
But it's an old picture.
Shut up. I think, in my opinion, looking at this, I don't see between even just obviously seeing Oppenheimer, Killian's a great
Mhm.
pick, but I don't even know if we can necessarily like just seeing the trailer for Maestro.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Bradley
I
Cooper
mean,
might be hard to beat here.
yeah.
I mean, he had to wear a fake nose, so.
But he became that guy. He became that
Mhm.
conductor. I don't remember his name at the moment because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Mhm.
I've only
Yeah,
seen interviews and stuff.
didn't
But
it say something like he practiced to be a
look,
conductor for like several years for like one scene in the
no,
movie?
like yes, no. So they had to film the big moment of the film, which is the big moment of the guy's composing career, is this one concert. And actually, yes, he prepared. He's been interested in composing his whole life. He did a ton of training for it. They had to film it twice because he just wasn't quite there the
Mhm.
first day, and they did it spontaneously, one camera shot, one take the next day, and they went with that one. That's what I learned. And also, apparently, Bradley Cooper, because he said this was the hardest. He said this was the hardest role he's ever gotten into.
Mhm.
He would literally show up 6 hours before crew call every day. So we're talking like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. He's also directing, by the way. He's not just acting. And it would take him that long before people started showing up to get into character. I'm not talking about putting on the prosthetic nose. I'm talking about finding the voice, finding the persona,
Mhm.
finding the way you carry yourself. Every single day he had that much detail for this guy. And he really labored over it. And he stayed in character throughout the day. So he would direct, not stopping the accent. He wouldn't stop
Mm.
the performance while he was directing throughout the day because it took him
Dude,
so long to get to it each day, you
the
know?
the the composers and conductors in the world, they're like, yes, finally a performance we can be
Performance.
proud of.
Yeah, yeah.
This is our movie.
They were. I mean, yeah. You should definitely listen to some of Bradley's interviews that's
Mhm.
come out on YouTube recently for the movie, even though it's not out yet. I'm expecting this to be a brilliant film. I
Yeah.
really am. This is the next. This is the only other film besides After a Star Is Born that Bradley Cooper has directed, and he's been working on this since A Star Is Born.
So
So this is a big deal.
are we predicting that it's between Cooper, Murphy, and DiCaprio?
I don't give it to DiCaprio.
You don't think?
Look, I think he did
No,
just as good of an acting as he does in any other role that he's done.
Mhm.
I think
no. He.
Do you
You didn't
think he
watch
was
the movie.
significantly better in that movie than anything else he's
Yes.
Look,
done?
I
Yes.
loved Cillian Murphy in
Yes.
Oppenheimer. He was incredible, but the standout performances were uh,
I
Emily Blunt and Robert Downey Jr. for me.
You're not
I think
terribly wrong, but
Killian
I think
did a
Killian's so
phenomenal
good. Look.
job.
I think Killian's so good, we just overlook how good he is because
I
he's always so great.
This is the hardest decision I think of these awards because Bradley Cooper probably is gonna do a fantastic job on
Mhm.
his movie. Cillian Murphy killed it, but also Leonardo DiCaprio killed his role, and I would agree. Everybody said this is one of his best acting performances. I
Mhm.
would 100% agree. I was skeptical going into it, and I'm 100% saying that if this was his best role for his acting he has
Okay.
done to date.
That's
Okay.
huge. That's a big statement
That's
because
a
he's done
big
so
statement.
much.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
has
big
done
statement.
quite a bit.
And
Um,
starting off in the movie, not so much, but by the end, you would agree.
okay. What's uh
I just wanna make a predict I'm gonna say it's gonna be Bradley Cooper, in my
okay.
opinion, okay? There, we
Okay.
threw it out there. Look.
All right.
Best performance
Mm,
by female actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. I don't think Margot Robbie deserves it.
No,
just
No.
because of Barbie
why?
best
Just because she's
performance
pretty.
performance.
It'll
I don't know.
probably go to Emma Stone.
Probably.
Probably.
It'll probably go
That
to Emma
sounds
Stone.
I think her
And
performance will stand out compared to all these other movies.
I'm surprised to see Jennifer Lawrence here on this list for No Hard Feelings for the movie
Yeah.
itself. I'm okay. I'm surprised to see No Hard Feelings up here. I'm not surprised to see Jennifer Lawrence up here because her performance in that movie was pretty good.
Did you watch it?
Yeah,
What was it about? Remind me.
that was
She
the
was dating
episode. The
Oh,
the
dating the
high
kid.
schooler.
the kid who's about to go into
Right.
college. Yeah,
I've almost turned it on like 3 times.
yeah.
I just haven't yet.
So I think the especially the early parts of the movie, I was surprised that, there was quite a bit of classic comedy movie writing dialogue and
Yeah.
gags. It was and then there were portions that didn't kind of hit the spot, and the end I think is a little bit it suffers from that thing that comedy movies do, a lot of them, where they start off really
Right.
strong, but they don't really know quite how to end it, and it
Right.
maybe gets a little bit too emotional. And so we lose kind of the 1-2 punch of the comedy and the gags.
That makes sense.
So when, you have your emotional bit, and then at the end where they're doing some big, somebody's running to chase after somebody or something, you kind of lose the emotional stuff because we're doing bits and gags now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know.
I think you're
but
right,
probably
though.
Emma Stone.
I think
Mhm.
Emma Stone for Poor Things is going to take it, just because I think the broad nature of the character that she was playing. I
What
think
was-
that's going to be too much.
What
Go
did
ahead, Joshua.
Natalie Portman play in? Because I
May.
can't.
May,
remember.
December.
What is that? I don't even remember.
It was on
a
the
movie.
list for best motion picture
I don't remember her being in
or
any movie.
best comedy musical. I think it's a musical. May, December. It's right here.
I don't remember that at all. Is it not come out yet?
It's one of those movies. I don't think I don't know.
It's like a
I didn't-
Netflix movie, right?
You got me. I don't know. Friggin' some of these movies just they hide, and
Mhm.
you don't hear about them till the award show. All right, best performing. I don't know how much farther we should go down. Maybe we could stop here. I think we kind of hit some of the main ones. Best
Yeah,
performance by
probably.
male actor in motion picture, musical, or comedy.
Hmm.
All right, so
not
if you
Timothée
were to say
Chalamet,
Jeffrey Wright for The French Dispatch, I would have given it to him.
Mhm.
But
Did you
his-
watch American Fiction?
No, I haven't. Is it?
Okay. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't know that I watched it either.
We watched a trailer for it. You remember? Somebody recommended we watch
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So we watched
yeah.
a trailer for it.
You're right.
He's a writer, and
He's a writer. Yeah.
He's making fun of Black culture to sell more books, basically.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah. He's doing all
got-
the stereotypes to
Right.
sell books.
Right.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to watch that.
Joaquin Phoenix for Bayou is Afraid.
Beau?
Beau is that how you say it? Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that one fell flat.
Matt Damon
Air.
for
I'm sure
Air.
Matt Damon was probably great in Air.
But no one watched it.
I still actually want to watch Dream Scenario. Because
I can't believe Nicolas
like
Cage is up for an award again.
it looks like a
Nicolas
wild
Cage.
performance from
But
Nicolas
wasn't
Cage.
Renfield? Didn't Renfield come out this year? He didn't. Nothing for Renfield.
No, nothing from Renfield.
Why would you even insinuate Renfield should be on
I didn't
the
watch
list?
it, so
All right. Definitely not Wonka. You can watch the
Mm-mm.
trailer and know that movie's going to be trash. I don't think
and I
Timothée
haven't seen-
Chalamet is going to make it amazing either. So
he lost his chance when they pushed Dune back to next year.
Yeah,
he
unfortunately.
did lose his chance. Now he's in the running
Um,
for Wonka. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts you guys have about these top nominees for actors and pictures?
I think there's kind of like 3 or 4 movies that are sticking out
Mhm.
for everything. I mean, you got your Barbie, your Oppenheimer, your Flowers,
Oh.
your
We missed this one.
Yeah, we should hit this
Best.
one.
We should
probably.
hit best director 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, best director. So we have Past Lives, Celine Song.
Ooh, this is
Bradley
actually
Cooper for Maestro, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, and
Yorgos
Yorgos
Lanthimos.
Lanthimos for Poor Things. It's hard to
that's actually a
say.
list. That's
I
a,
don't
that's
know.
a good list.
I don't know about Yorgos, and I don't know about Celine because I haven't seen their movies. I definitely am not giving it to Greta.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible for a Barbie movie. It is not bad filmmaking. It's actually really impressive, some of the sets and camera work that they did to make it feel like a vintage vibe, right? It's not bad filmmaking, but it just doesn't hold water against Chris Nolan, Bradley Cooper, and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's competent directing.
It's competent directing 100%, but the style of movie just doesn't, you can't put those two side to side.
Right.
For best director, I'm sorry, we're talking about storytelling here. We're if who's telling a better story? Probably. I don't even know between these three guys. I don't know who's telling the better story.
Wait till Bradley
Maestro
Cooper
comes out, and then we'll have a better idea. Probably.
I scroll up just a second because I think the supporting guys deserve a little bit of credit here. So
Ryan Gosling and Robert Downey Jr. specifically.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Robert
De Niro.
Robbie De Niro.
Flowers.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's his best performance, but he did a good job.
I heard a lot of good things about Mark Ruffalo as well in Poor Things.
Yeah. This is a good list.
And if if Willem Dafoe is in Poor Things as well, I mean he's probably
Willem Dafoe is playing the local nut. You know what I'm saying? He's just he's there, and he's Willem Dafoe, and everyone knows what to expect, and he's going to do his Willem thing.
Ready and Willem.
Ready and Willem to do whatever. Who stands out? Maybe Robert Downey Jr.
Look, I think we've got two really serious performances of the two. I think it's probably Robert Downey Jr.
But everybody talks about
Ryan Gosling was big for Barbie.
You think Barbie, you think of Margot, but really no, everybody's talking about Ryan.
It's Ken who has
everybody's been talking about him.
He was the meme
Best
to start out.
Yeah, he was.
He was the standout performance when the movie was happening, and his memes and his song have persisted since the movie came out. I haven't seen anything about.
I mean, he was
Margot
the comic
Robbie.
relief for the comedy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I haven't seen anything about Margot Robbie's performance necessarily, or memes or cultural impact. It's all been.
I think she just was so Barbie that everyone just expected exactly what she gave.
Well, I mean, it's also a the internet is a lot of times a lot of the culture on the internet is male driven, especially the laughs, the humor, the memes.
And Ryan Gosling as Ken is funny.
Guys push the memes. Girls don't make the memes. They enjoy Barbie and they love Barbie.
Like men do.
But men push the memes, which creates cultural relevance.
Do we have to do the women as well? Because we got Emily Blunt up here.
True.
Yikes.
True.
I haven't seen most of these movies. I haven't seen any of these except.
But I'm sure I'm sure I'm seeing Julianne Moore, Rosamund Pike, and Jodie Foster as well. All stand. I haven't seen Jodie Foster in anything in a minute. A minute, and I haven't seen The Holdovers or The Color Purple yet.
Never been a real big fan of Rosamund Pike personally.
She's always kind of had a sort of blank.
Well, I watched Gone Girl, and
Gone Girl.
I can't see past that movie.
Scary, Gone Girl.
I can't see past it.
This one will probably go to Emily Blunt.
I hope so. It was so good.
Her
performance was so
She's pretty solid.
amazing in Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
I don't even want to see any of the other movies because I just want her to be considered. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want her to take it. Give it to Emily Blunt. She deserves
Yeah.
it. She probably deserved it for A Quiet Place,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
but she
she
definitely
and
deserves it for Oppenheimer.
yeah, and in both of those movies, you got Cillian Murphy and
Right.
That is
her
true. She's worked
husband.
with Killian in for a minute,
Mhm.
but uh he wasn't in Oppenheimer. Her husband.
No, I'm
John?
talking about the first A Quiet Place movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
John
was. Yeah.
Krasinski.
Krasinski. Yeah.
Mr.
Um,
Kwasinski.
so let's wrap it up there and let's get
Yeah.
to Deadpool 3. Why don't we?
Oh, dang,
Uh,
we haven't even talked about Deadpool 3.
it's
Well,
really just a very
but
quick conversation. It's nothing
Mhm.
huge. All right. So the director of Deadpool 3 made a comment, and really I just wanted to bring this up just because it's something simple. Okay.
Mhm.
Deadpool 3 director reveals how actor strike shutdown helped the movie. He does a really quick quote here. All right. Um, let's see. Actually more. It's actually more in this. I'll just read the first paragraph or half of it. Production on the threequel was stalled for several months earlier this year due to the Writers Guild of America, SAG-AFTRA. Hollywood strikes before things started back up last month. According to Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy, the hiatus might have actually worked in the movie's favor, as it allowed him and the franchise star Ryan Reynolds, quote, time to get to know and think about the story. Let's see what he had to
Mhm.
say right here. We're happily back at work, and now that we've known it's coming out next summer, now we know it's coming out next summer, we are we're working our asses off to make the best movie possible, and it feels good. Levy
Yeah.
explained before adding, "It does feel like we're back and at a freshly and more deeply informed about this movie and what it wants to be." So it seems kind of like the two questions I have is one, do we think there are other movies that might be benefiting from a very similar thing because of the strike? And two, do we really think it's actually helping, or are we going to kind of feel like the movie might not fit together as well because part of it was filmed before and then part of it's filmed after? And when you start messing with the creative process, it can once you get out of the creative process or the one track mind, you might start believing something else should be one thing when it doesn't need to be. It needs to be what it started as. You know what I mean?
Well, you sort of notice this thing that happens in Hollywood where they you know sort of want to go with one narrative. When
Sure.
it came to COVID, it was kind of like um and they're still saying this in some projects of well, COVID messed up this, COVID messed up this, COVID messed up this. That's the reason that this is the way it is because of COVID.
Yeah.
They're still pushing that narrative. But it seems like the writers and actors strike narrative is like, we're better because of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And they keep saying it. We're better. This movie's going to be better. This is going to be better because of
Okay.
this long, interruptive, annoying strike that we've had. And so when they do that,
Well, it's
we
because it was
know
self-inflicted.
it's because
They
it was
chose it.
self-inflicted, and it's we know that there's going to be problems.
Okay.
When they're pushing, it seems like when they're pushing a certain narrative, like this all
All's good in the
happened.
neighborhood.
Yeah, this all happened
Yeah.
because of COVID. We had issues because of COVID, even though we know they were making movies during COVID. We know a lot of people were still working during COVID,
Tom Cruise was flying off the
and
handle
they're
at a few
still
folks.
pushing the narrative even now. And it's, we're not dealing with it anymore.
Well, I'm
Um,
only seeing that in articles about Disney. I feel like Disney's the only one that's still like COVID, 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 COVID. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
People aren't
but
watching Wish because of COVID.
anytime there's a
well,
big issue, studios they will throw the blame on COVID. But I think they're trying to put a positive swing, a positive spin on the strikes, so that people aren't like in the future. People are like, oh well, this is crap, um, and they can't look back at the strikes and be like, oh, clearly it was because of the strikes.
Right.
They're trying to get ahead of that by being like, it's gonna be so much better.
Because they don't
It's gonna be
want
so much better. You
They
guys have
don't
no
wanna
idea how bad it would have been if we didn't strike.
right. They don't want a self-inflicted wound to be seen as a
Mhm.
negative thing in the future.
Mhm.
They're trying to control the narrative
Yeah.
here. So do you
That's
think
my
that
take on it.
But listen, so Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy does not have to do that.
Mhm.
Because even if Deadpool as a story sucks, everyone's gonna love it because it's gonna have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna have Ryan Reynolds telling the Deadpool jokes, and he's gonna be
Mhm.
doing the Deadpool thing. You don't
Yeah.
even need a good story for people to like this movie.
Yeah.
So, does he have to say this if it is about narrative control?
I think he's worried about public perception of the movie when it
Yeah.
comes out, which leads me to believe that there's maybe some things that he's concerned about with the writing or the story or something.
Do you
Yeah, I
think
would
they're
agree.
pushing Hugh Jackman too hard and it's gonna be like one fight scene?
I don't know. That's
He's gonna be in it
that
for
could
like
be
4
part of the
minutes.
worry. That could be part of the worry.
Maybe.
So
I mean, to satisfy culture with Hugh Jackman Wolverine right now, he's gonna have to hit up at least
Mhm.
25% of this movie.
Hey, look, if he just kind
He
of
can't cameo for a
if
fight
he
scene.
does about what Cable did, in the previous movie, then that's a good chunk of Wolverine to see.
I suppose, but we're definitely expecting a lot, I think.
Mhm.
It's gonna be hard to pull away from that.
Deadpool away.
I did hear that I don't know what her name was, but the little girl that was in Logan, that kind of was Logan's maybe daughter, or
X-23.
yeah, whoever she was.
Mhm.
She's going to be reprising her role in Deadpool 3.
Interesting. I'd be
Okay.
interesting
That
to see
actor.
more of her. I was kind of expecting that they would be doing more with her.
Yeah.
Was her name Laura?
Mhm.
You're
But
talking about Daphne Keene?
mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
X-23. We know. We know who,
Daphne Keene.
Yes.
Yeah. Actress.
Yeah,
Is she
she's-
slated for this? Is she slated? I don't see
Hmm.
her. I don't see her
no.
on the list. Are you out here spreading freaking
No. I saw
Collider
the same
news?
thing.
I saw
something
some news
similar.
on it. I saw some news on it.
You guys were also the ones that were really pushing that Caesar's son, that the new Apes movie was about Caesar's
That's
son.
what we kept hearing. It wasn't until
I mean,
recently
I
that
was
even
I
the
was
even the
eating a slice of
IMDb,
Little Caesars,
Even the
and
IMDb. I'm giving you guys a hard time, but even
yeah,
the
even the
IMDb said
IMDb had it wrong, and we were going off of IMDb. So
now it does have it correct now. And just to clarify, yes, the new Planet of the Apes is not about Cornelius. It's about a new ape that we don't know called Noah.
yeah.
Noah.
Well, I was sitting on the couch eating a slice of Little Caesars, and I was watching the trailer.
Dang, I really want some Little
and
Caesars. I know people think it's the most gross pizza ever, but I want some so bad. What do you? Okay, finish your thought. Don't stop to ponder.
that was the joke. I was just saying I was eating a little.
Your joke was
slice
I
of
was
Little
just sitting down eating Little Caesars, thinking about X-23 or
Caesars.
whatever her name was.
No, I was talking about Planet of the Apes.
well, on that note, I think we should
Caesars.
probably wrap it up here for Monday all weekend. We thank you guys for dropping by. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Tell us what you think about the topics that we talked about today down in the comments. And we appreciate you showing up. We'll see you guys next Monday.